stiff upper lip, even-keeled, unflappable, iron backbone. None of these terms apply to our favorite weaselly, lying con man politician, George Santos. In fact, you're just going to love his panic performance that was caught on video that we're going to show you here. But first, why is he panicking?
There are new charges that have been filed tonight against Congressman George Santos from New York.
They include conspiracy, wire fraud, false statements, falsification of records, aggravated identity theft, and credit card fraud.
Federal prosecutors filed the 23-count superseding indictment today, which includes charges that Santos stole the identities and the financial information of his contributors.
He was already facing a slew of charges. We just listed a whole bunch of the new ones. There's a lot of new ones.
Prosecutors say he used the information to repeatedly charge their credit cards without their permission and then transfer funds to his campaign. And they say he covered this up by lying about where those contributions came from. Santos is also facing charges including wire fraud, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, and money laundering.
Fair enough. This is bad. So how did this brave public servant react to the news? Here's the footage.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
Okay, kidding. But is it really all that different from the actual footage?
In the speaker's election,
credit cards to reward yourself.
why should you be able to vote in the speaker's election, such a key election, when you've been charged with all these crimes?
By the way, we didn't even show you all of it. What came right before his Usain Bolt imitation was this impeccable, never-fail, super subtle move to pretend you have a very important call coming in on your phone.
I have no clue of what you guys are talking about. No, I will not. Excuse me.
You will not. Why you?
I will.
Smooth. By the way, it would be one thing if this were the first time we'd seen George Santos pull this routine. It isn't. The only difference is that this time he seems to have actually broken into a run, whereas last time it was more of a speed walk.
You're accused of fabricating almost every single part of your life. Why do you deserve to represent people in New York?
To the way.
Did you illegally?
Sorry.
Mr. Santos, there's some campaign finance concerns and questions about your finances.
Really?
Can you answer the
Can you guys
campaign
give me a little
finance
space,
concerns?
personal space, please? A little personal space?
Why won't you answer our questions?
But that's not even the most embarrassing thing for him here, because it's bad enough when he has nothing to say and just flees. What's somehow actually even worse is when he pauses to collect his thoughts, if one can even call it that, and say something. Watch him attempt to respond to this reporter and how he clearly has no idea what his alibi is here or even what month we're in.
You're all acting like I'm not entitled to due process and innocent until proven guilty.
Your next step.
I'm nothing. I mean, I'm just going to go defend myself. I have a court day on October 27, and then there's probably going to be something else scheduled for that. I'm entitled to due process. I'm going to go defend myself.
And then there's this all-time classic, which seems pretty relevant right now, where he showed up outside Donald Trump's arraignment and delivered this gem. Truly one of the great dumb quotes of all time.
Congressman, is any president above the law?
No. But is this DA going to start criminalizing criminals?
I think we can now definitively say, George, yes, prosecutors do criminalize criminals. Like you. That's what just happened to you. One final thing about all of this that's worth pointing out. Did you notice as Santos was running away what the reporters were specifically asking him about? They were asking why the heck he gets to vote in the speaker's race. Here's how CBS News summed it up.
We are in the midst of a very heated speaker's race as well, where every vote is going to count. Unclear kind of what path Jim Jordan or Steve Scalise, the two current speaker candidates, what path they may take in terms of dealing with George Santos going forward.
My Blue Amp colleague Cliff Schecter pointed out months ago why George Santos is still even in Congress.
What is George Santos still doing in Congress? I think we would call him McCarthy's blood bag.
I just need a top-up. There's no time. We take my blood bag. We take my blood bag and strap him to the Lance's perch.
And the reason why McCarthy will keep him there, as long as he has to, is that he is a vote for McCarthy.
And here we go again. Kevin McCarthy was keeping George Santos around as his blood bag. When McCarthy got thrown overboard anyway last week, it would seem like that's the end of George Santos's protector. But of course, he still is an available vote. And so Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan have every incentive to keep him around and protect him, just like his old sugar daddy, so they can have his vote. Because that's what they do. Phony, insane impeachment inquiry of President Biden based on no evidence, just a shield for the criminal behavior of Donald Trump, willing to shut down the government again because Donald Trump and criminality. Trump endorses Jim Jordan, who multiple witnesses have said knew all about and covered up the abuse at Ohio State, because Trump is a criminal and it takes one to know one. And now, of course, the most obvious con man in the history of Congress. And what are Republicans going to do? We could ask them, but I assume they'd just...